I think one of the coolest things about being an entrepreneur, it's really not about the schedule that you get to have, the money that you can create. It's really about being able to meet so many individuals who are struggling with something and quickly being able to resolve that for them, right? And them finally having that major aha, I finally did it. I can't believe this is happening moment. At least in my line of work, but I think overall entrepreneurs would definitely say the biggest reason for starting their business or going on this journey is to really actually impact the world. And it's really special when you're able to do something like that.
You're listening to Ambitious AF, a podcast that will help you level up, find positivity, and put yourself on top right now and every day for the rest of your life. I'm your host, Caroline Lewis, and each week I will bring you a guest or thought that will motivate you to get out of bed every morning with the willingness to succeed. Being ambitious means you are proud of who you are and everything you've accomplished. Only you can make that happen, though. But with the help of this podcast, you will rise to the top. You will find success. You will believe in yourself and manifest happiness. And most importantly, you will become ambitious AF. I know you are eager to begin, so let's get started.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. I am going to dive into it right now because today is all about being an entrepreneur, right? That incredible feeling. And I think the reason I wanted to kind of just talk about this today is because August has officially been my largest month ever in my business. And the thought process around hitting the numbers and all of the clients that started with us this month and being able to do that, I had this major epiphany moment, and I wanted to share it all with you and talk a little bit more about that entrepreneurial life, right? So I know you all, if you have listened to these episodes or this podcast, I interview other female entrepreneurs quite a lot. I think we're scaling that back to probably once or twice a month because I just have so many good things I want to talk to you all about. And normally when I talk to them, though, we do talk about that entrepreneurial journey, but it's kind of like a back and forth, conversation. And I'm hoping it always resonates with you. But I just kind of wanted to make this episode specifically about being an entrepreneur and what that really looks like, because it's not an easy life. Let me just put that out there. But it is the most rewarding life, right? And now, before I dive into a little bit of the details, I do always have to just ask and remind you all, if you like anything that you're hearing from this podcast, please rate and review this episode. It would mean so much to me, like literally so much. Oh, there goes my dog. To just hear from you all. So please rate and review this, ideally on Apple Podcasts, because that way you can read the reviews, and you can also rate it as well. But the reviews are really the things that matter the most to me because I can actually hear from you all. Okay, there's that. So anyways, back to the entrepreneurial journey. So I think a lot of people, and maybe I'm talking to you specifically, my fellow listeners, I think a lot of people, we come to this realization after working so many jobs, and maybe I should give you a little bit of back history. So I have had a couple of corporate like jobs. I mainly have been a sales rep or some type of sales rep for my whole career. And then maybe a little bit of marketing, and then I moved up to like business management and such stuff like that. And I think no matter what job you have, unless it's incredibly fulfilling, right? I think there is always a time in your life where you kind of question, what am I doing? Who am I doing this for, right? And I think that's how a lot of people get started in the entrepreneurial world and starting a business, is they either have an idea and they just run for it, right? They're like, think this idea is awesome, and then they just get the funding and they launch it. Or they are sitting at their 9 to 5 and they're questioning, like, what am I doing with my life? Is this really fulfilling to me? Am I doing this job for me, or am I just doing it to make a paycheck? Am I just doing it for someone else, right? Because almost every single entrepreneur I meet, if not every single entrepreneur I meet, we always start something because we see a struggle or a lack or lag or mishap in the market. We hear a lot of complaints, or we talk to a lot of people and they have negativity towards something, right? And then we create a solution for them. We make them feel better or make them have more success or whatever that really looks like, right? But ultimately, it comes down to people, right? We start these businesses and we become entrepreneurs because we want to help people and animals, right? Because a lot of entrepreneurs can help animals too. But we're helping people and animals through new systems, new technology, new engineering, new sales, new marketing, new anything, because we believe that if you do it this way, I really do think it'll help you with what you're struggling with, right? Because, I mean, for the most part, unless you're doing the entrepreneurship thing a little backwards, I've never met an entrepreneur who literally quit their job just to make tons of money. I've never talked to a single person, right? Normally, when you ask entrepreneurs, why did you start this? Why did you start your own business? They just kind of start smiling and they're like, well, I saw struggle X and I really wanted to help these types of people Y, right? So X and Y, like I saw something missing in the marketplace and I wanted to create something for the market to enjoy life better with, or to get healthier, to have more success, to create more financial freedom, to invest better, to communicate better, to have better relationships, right? But it's really all about like connecting to those people. I've never ever met an entrepreneur and I ask he or she, oh, hey, why'd you start your business? And they just said, oh, for the money. Because for the most part, and maybe they thought that in the beginning, right? Maybe because we see all these fancy lives entrepreneurs have, private jets, all that kind of stuff. But I guarantee you, it didn't take long in starting their business to realize it's not for the money, because you don't make that much money when you're first starting your business, right? Even now, we had major months in my business, like our best month ever, but I am scaling so quickly, I have to hire a lot of help, which is massive overhead, right? So creating an agency like I have, especially when it comes to marketing, and because we're done for you, so we do so much, I have to hire a bunch of people so that I can keep up with my clients, right? And make sure that they're getting the success that I promised them. So my overhead's massive. So to say I'm doing this for the money is definitely not, because yes, I definitely was able to make a lot more than my corporate or any of my corporate jobs very quickly, but it's not about just making the millions, right? For me, it's about, and for everyone I talk to, it's about the more money I make, that means the more clients I'm helping, which means the more better the world is. I mean, normally businesses are created to make the world better, right? So in any type of circumstance, and most of the clients that I work with, they do have their own business, right? They are entrepreneurs. So we're building out financial courses to help college kids going to find their first job handle their finances, or we are doing investor courses, or we are doing one-on-one life coaching or mindset coaching, right? These are the types of businesses they're building. They're building product-based businesses, coffee shops. They're moving to e-com, right? They're building jewelry stores. They're doing all of these things because they love doing it and they love impacting others, right? Even creating a jewelry store, right? You love putting jewelry and making beautiful jewelry because you know when someone wears it and loves it, it's going to make them feel better, right? They're going to look prettier. They're going to love themselves a little bit more, right? So it's not really just about making the jewelry. It's not really just about making the finance course. It's not really just about having another one-on-one client, right? It's about the impact you're about to make on someone else's life. And it is the most rewarding job ever. Like I work so much more probably than my 9 to 5 because I want to, because it's an extremely rewarding job. And when I do want to take off, and when I do feel that burnout coming in, I just take off, right? I did this a lot for the time freedom. And I did this a lot because I have talked to and met a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs, and of course, everyone moving to online who just didn't know how to do it anymore, right? So I gladly take that over because I love doing it. And I think when you have a reason to start a business because of that, there's really no way to fail, right? You might take steps back, for sure. I've definitely had months where I did not make a single sale. And even this year, which this year we moved fully done for you marketing, right? So I've definitely had those months. And yeah, I have months or end of a month where I'm like, oh my gosh, man, are we gonna get a client next month? Are we gonna keep this consistency? Or how much more do I have to work? Or maybe we did have tons of clients, but now I'm lagging employees. So I'm like, oof, I gotta step it up, put more hours in, right? But that is the beautiful joy of entrepreneurship. You just do it. You go with the flow, you create, you engage, you sell, you fail, you get clients, you don't get clients, you create success, you don't create success, but it's just an up and down journey. And when you hear people talking about stuff like that, most of us, I think we're just like, meh, yeah, whatever. I know I'm going to be successful, which is great, right? That's the mindset you need to have. But you really need to understand and listen to people when we talk to you all and say that it's not hard. It is so lonely. It is complicated, and it is a freaking roller coaster. I guarantee people that make multi-millions as entrepreneurs, they would still say it's in a roller coaster, right? Because the world is changing way too fast. It's constantly changing. I mean, I don't know about you, but I can barely keep up with Instagram and all of the different changes, right? Right. I think now I heard that the swipe up feature is going to be no more come September, and you're going to have to just link things, and they're going to give people the opportunity to have the link feature under 10K followers, right? The world is changing so fast because technology. And I love technology, right? I wouldn't have my business without it. And I think a lot of companies are scared, obviously, to move forward because their business has been so comfortable. But let me tell you, if you don't move forward, if you don't take that risk, if you don't scale in that sense, then you are going to eventually plateau because you can't keep the level of your business right now if you don't accept that next generation, right? If you don't figure out the digital marketing and getting everything solely online and figure out apps and quick access and funnels and paid advertising and all that kind of stuff, it is going to be really, really hard for your business to survive in the next couple of years. Because with tech and honestly with COVID and everything that's happened, we have merged online so fast, so quickly. It is insane. And because of that, tech companies have to keep up. They have to keep selling. So they are working day and night trying to figure out the next best thing, the best algorithm, the best automation, the best email sequence, the best paid ad, right? The best video, the best whatever it is. People in tech are constantly trying to perfect because there's so much demand for it. And it's absolutely astonishing to me where we will even be in 5 years because of how quickly technology is evolving, right? And honestly, I am all on board for it. And I think now is an incredible time to finally get that business going that you've been dreaming of. Because you can advertise so easily online. You don't even have to really spend money on paid advertising these days. I mean, it definitely will help your business grow a lot faster, but you can still scale organically. You can still scale with emails. You can still scale with SEO. None of that's kind of changed. It's just the way to do it has obviously upgraded since 2000s, right? But now it's really, really the time, like really, really the time to to just launch it. There's ways to get funding. Obviously, the stock markets are still doing well, so people want to fund, right? There's investors out there. You can start on a 9 to 5 budget. You can start a side hustle, grow that into a business. That's how I started. That's how most people I know started. You don't have to start with thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I think launching my business, I think I put 5 or 10 grand down, which is probably a lot to most, and it was a lot to me back then. But I think even if you had 1,000, 3,000 bucks just set aside to really go after something that you like, right? That you love doing. And if it fails, it's pretty cool how the universe works, because if your business fails or your idea fails, I know, will quickly come up with a solution, right? Because you're taking that step and you're trying something and you're excited and you're happy and you're putting all that energy in it. So the universe is going to reward you. So even if it doesn't work, because this market's crazy, so we never know when things will work, you can always try again. You can always do something else. And worst comes to worst, seriously, everyone listening, you can always get a job if you really want to. But I will also warn you, once you have the entrepreneurial fever, it's really, really hard to go back to the corporate lifestyle. I always joked, obviously, before moving here and moving to Utah and being able to run my business the way, but even early into this, I would always joke and say, I could never, ever get another job, ever. Like, have someone, like, be an employee for someone. It would be really, really hard for my mentality to accept that. So if this doesn't work, I remember saying, I'm just going to try something else. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write more books. I'm going to do better on my podcast. I'm going to figure out another product to promote and sell, right? Because it's just such an rewarding lifestyle. It's so much fun, but it's crazy. I mean, I cry, I have blood, sweat, and tears, I have headaches. I got a massage today and I'm wiped because my body was so effed up from this crazy week. So I'm not going to say it's all glitz and glamour. It is not all massages all the time, luxury meals, private jets. I mean, it's never that, really. You just see that online because that's what people like to share. So they never really share the blood, sweat, and tears. But that's really, really what comes down to having and building your own business, the blood, sweat, and tears. But that's what keeps you going. And it, again, is just so cool. It's such an amazing feeling. You'll never know until you hit your first client, till you make your first 30K, till you make, or I guess 10K first, right? Because that's the big number most people want to hit, because 10K would be over 6 figures. So that feeling you get when you hit 10K or a 6-figure company, it's like the best feeling ever. And then when you hit multi-six, and then you're approaching 1 million, and then you hit 1 million, yeah, those are numbers, but it's the feeling, because you're like, holy moly, I did this. Look at all of my employees. Look at this. Like, I've created this empire. I'm a true CEO. Look at all these client reviews. Look at all these success stories. I cannot believe I started this out of my basement and this is where I am today, right? Those moments are literally to die for. Like, it's the best moments ever. And this month being my biggest month ever, and being able to get new clients that are like, I love all my clients, but this month, being that aligned with my vision and my company, I have the best clients that just started this month. And I am so excited to see what we can do for them, right? That what we can brand for them and build for them, because it's just going to be an amazing feeling when we hit their numbers and we get their stuff online and more people see them. And then of course it's going to be an even better feeling when they give us good reviews and they start referring people to us, because we want more clients like them, right? Because they're just absolutely astonishing. And it's the coolest feeling to be able to grow a team of, I think we have like 6 or 7 now, something like that. I lose count. But being able to pay everyone, right? Like, oh yeah, I have to pay so-and-so, or having it automatically withdrawn and saying like, oh, I'm only able to pay you because I've been able to build this, right? Build this from scratch, because it was just me when I started, and it's going to be just you when you start. But then you start adding on some help, some VAs, Maybe it's your mom or dad, your sister, brother, you start paying them $5 an hour. It doesn't really matter. But that first employee, that first help, that first client, that first 10K, that first $500,000, that first mil, that first multi-mil, I mean, it's always going to feel amazing because you're always going to reflect back to being in your little 9 to 5, working away, grinding away, not feeling fulfillment, starting your little side hustle, getting excited at night or waking up in the morning to do it. And then all of a sudden, this little baby blossoms into a gorgeous, beautiful butterfly. It's the coolest feeling ever. So, moral of this story is to just freaking go for it. Don't let anyone or anything hold you back. And if you honestly really, really want to start a business, do it. Now's the perfect time to do it. Get a landing page up, get an opt-in form, start growing your emails, scale email marketing. The easiest way to grow your business, literally, that's all you got to do. It doesn't take a lot of tech. It doesn't take a lot of thought or knowledge or creativity. It just takes gut to go for your dreams. So I encourage you all on this beautiful Thursday afternoon, last Thursday in August. We are a couple months left to the end of this year. Launch your business now. Now is the best time to do it. Don't let anything or anyone hold you back. And of course, when you do launch, please tag me on Instagram at Caroline Lewis Consulting, because I want to share you with my audience and give you as much love and appreciation and respect as physically possible. So tag me with any of those new launches. I want to hear your success stories. And that's all I have for you today, folks. So thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to see all of these beautiful businesses blossoming. And of course, if you need any help with anything, please feel free to reach out. All right, my friends, that's it for now. I'll chat with you all later. See ya.
Thanks for listening to this episode. If you got some value or just feel fired up, I would love for you to take a screenshot and tag me in your Instagram stories. It's always so motivating to see you getting the inspiration you needed to level up for my podcast. I'm going to keep showing up and bringing my best self to these episodes, and I encourage you to do the same. If you think a friend or family member would enjoy this episode, I would love for you to share the ambition. I can't wait to chat next week, but until then, keep being ambitious AF.